How's it going? Today I'm talking about strength workouts, strength training when you're injured or as an injury prone runner where the injury tends to flare up randomly. This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury prone RunDisney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line. Okay, so this is a big topic because you know you need strength exercises, right? Strength exercises are so incredibly important. If you went into any of the Facebook groups and said, hey, I have knee pain, what should I do? 80% of those responses are going to say, oh, you need to strength train your glutes, or you just need to strength train. You need stronger knees. If you go to the doctor and say, I have knee pain, they're going to say, oh, well, your knees are weak. You need strength training. And so with all of that, okay, I need strength training. What do I do? So you start searching online. You go on YouTube. You get recommendations from people in social media, and you try them out, and you can't even get into the position of what the exercise is, like the starting position. I was watching one yesterday of a really popular YouTuber that I see floating around in the RunDisney Facebook groups. I see her workouts floating around, and they're great workouts. Not bashing them at all. They are excellent workouts. But for somebody who's already injured or is prone to getting hurt, they have injuries popping up left and right, this workout is going to be way too hard for them. Like, just getting into the position of some of them. For example, she was doing a Bulgarian split squat, which, if you don't know what that is, it's where you put your back leg on something like an ottoman or a workout bench, and then your other leg is forward, and you kind of hop yourself forward, and then you bend your knee, so you're doing a lunge. So some people call that a reverse elevated lunge. Most people call it a Bulgarian split squat. It's really hard to get into that position. Like, if you have really tight hip flexors, you're done. Like, you're not getting into that position. If you have really flared up knees, that is a lot of pressure on both of your knees. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a lot of pressure on the front knee, the leg that's touching the ground, not the back leg, where that's the one that's on the ottoman or the bench. That one, if your quads and your hip flexor are tight, that's going to really pull across that knee, and you are eccentrically loading those muscles and stretching them. So that means eccentrically loading. That means that you are working the muscle and stretching it out at the same time. That's a lot of force and pressure through the knee joint for that. So a lot of my clients won't ever be able to do that, or won't be able to do it for years. So that should not be the first exercise they try and do in a workout. So that's where I come in, because as a physical therapist, I became a physical therapist in 2012. I've been working with injured or injury prone people for more than 10 years. And then on top of that, just from my own knowledge with recovering from injury, moving forward, like as a high schooler, in college, in grad school, plus my internships, it's been a long time that I've been dealing with this. And what I find that happens with most strength workouts is they just are too advanced or expect too much from the participant. Strength training when you're injured or with an injury that flares up really easily, you need to start off a lot slower, fewer repetitions, lighter to no weight than you think. It's so much easier to quickly advance because something was too easy and didn't flare you up than it is to backtrack and do damage control. So when I worked in the physical therapy clinic and I was seeing, anywhere between 20 and 40 patients a day, depending on which clinic I worked at, I would I would work with a patient for, like the 5 minutes I had to work with them, but that's another story. And they'd be like, oh, well, this is easy. And I was like, please, 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 just do the sets and reps that I have worked out. I promise we will make them harder when we need to. And that might be tomorrow, it might be 3 weeks from now. Please start here because we don't know how irritable your injury is. This is a new movement, it's a new activation of the muscle, it's a new position. So even if you don't have pain with day to day activities, your body's used to doing those regular day to day activities. As soon as you change the position, it's it, it's all bets off. Your muscles, your joints can decide, ooh, we don't like this, or this is new, and flare up. So I would always tell my patients, and I still tell my clients this, start lower, start easier, way, 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 way easier than you think. Because if it's too easy now and it doesn't flare you up in the next 24 to 48 hours, then the next time we go and work out, we can adjust and we can increase it. But if we go too far too soon and it does flare you up, we're doing like a month of damage control. So we're either waiting 2 days to advance it or we're waiting a month to start back at the beginning. So start off slower, lower, easier, 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 easier than you think you need to. Sometimes, most of the time, I start my clients off with isometric contractions where we're just watching the muscle contract, making sure our brain and our muscle are connected so that when we say we need to contract the quads, we are contracting the quads. And we do that for a couple of days to a week to make sure that just doing that doesn't flare up the joints or the muscles. Because what can happen is you get in this injury cycle where it's a pain inhibition cycle where you have an injury, so you have pain. Then you go to do something. Let's say you go to run and your body feels that pain. Well, your mind thinks, oh, your brain thinks, oh, well, your knee hurts. Oh, your quad's in the area of the knee. So it's because the quad contracted. So I'm actually going to shut off the quad. I'm going to make it stop contracting as hard or as often because I think that quad muscle is causing this pain. And what happens is every time you go to contract that quad muscle, your brain gets a signal. Nope, nope. Historically, that's been a problem. We've had a problem with this. Stop, stop, stop. And so then you get inhibition, which means that your body isn't contracting that quad muscle. And if this goes on too long, every time that quad muscle contracts, even if you're just laying in bed and you straighten out your knees, your brain could be like, oh, nope, 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 be careful, careful. We don't do that. That causes problems, that causes pain. When in fact, that is a safe thing to do, but your body has messed up this connection, so to speak. And so we want to make sure that we break that cycle so that we can move forward quickly. And it doesn't take much to break that cycle. Just consistent, concerted effort in doing the thing in a safe environment to remind our body, remind our muscles, remind our brain that, nope, these things are safe to do. And then we can quickly move forward 2 days later, 4 days later, 6 days later, and we can quickly progress. I've had patients and clients where we do those quad contractions, as an example, to overcome that knee problem. And it doesn't flare it up. So then the next time, 2 days later, because we work out about 3 days a week. So let's say we did the test and that movement of the quad contraction on Monday. We do the number of reps and sets to do, and then the next time we would go work out is Wednesday. Well, Monday went fine, no flare up on Monday, Tuesday, or the beginning of Wednesday. So now we can advance that to I don't know, a straight leg raise or a short arc quad, and we can make it a little bit harder, but still safe. So we're doing open chain right now so that we don't have to work with confounding factors of weight bearing. See how confusing all of this is? These are the types of things that go through my mind, and I'm constantly evaluating and assessing based on how that activity, movement, exercise went. And let's say the short arc quad or the straight leg raise went fine. Okay, 2 days later on Friday, since everything went fine, now we can advance it. Maybe we use weights, or maybe we start doing some weight bearing activities to start loading the joint. And maybe we do a terminal knee extension to activate that quad, but in a weight bearing position, because weight bearing changes how your body has to manipulate and activate the muscles, because now you're putting weight and pressure through it versus just lifting the leg up and down in the air. You're not having that weight and pressure. No stabilization needs to happen. Your body doesn't need to know where it is planted in space and things like that. So with these strength workouts, if you're injured or prone to injury, prone to flare-ups of injuries, please start way lower, way easier than you think. If you're listening to this at the time it comes out, which is the week of May 6th, so that would be, I believe, the 8th is on Thursday. Nope, the 9th is on Thursday. If you are listening to this when it drops, right now, open enrollment is happening for Finish Line Fitness. So if you're looking for at-home workouts to do so that you can start getting stronger and stop getting injured, these are the types of things that we go through. Exercises, progressing exercises. It's a 12-week program of at-home strength workouts. If those are the types of exercises you're looking to do to not flare up your injury and to get stronger so that you can run at runDisney injury-free, I invite you to check the link in the description for Finish Line Fitness, strength workouts for injury-prone runners. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.